Lastly, let's have a look at our more specialised pointing devices. The first of which that I've already got connected is our Ultra Joystick. This is a fully metal-bodied joystick, so extremely robust, which it needs to be because this is a joystick that requires to be mounted. And it has a couple of screw threads there, which are on an industry standard pitch. And so you normally mount this using a mounting system of some kind, and the important thing is it has no buttons at all, but it does have a couple of sockets so that you can connect them if you wish, but you don't necessarily need to, because one of the features I want to demonstrate that's available on this unit and also on both types of enabler is a dwell click feature. Now, okay, the Assistive Touch feature in the iPad does include dwell click, but it depends where you want to implement it. Sometimes it's beneficial to do it in the pointing device, so that when you move the pointing device between iPad and PC or Mac or whatever, then that setting will move with it. And it was very, very simple in terms of how it works. So since I've already got it plugged in, if I move the cursor to, let's say, the camera app and just simply wait, then it clicks and opens it up for me. And of course I can set the dwell period, and again, just to demonstrate it on a different app, if I want to go into notes, just wait and it taps for me. In every other way, it's as you would expect it to be. It has orientation settings, so you can mount it any way around, and of course you can set the using the button on the side here, you can set the features of the two sockets if you are using them. So let's move along now to the Orbitrack, and this is really a very unusual unit that really has to be demonstrated for people to understand properly what it does. And it really was designed for people with muscular dystrophy, but equally any other kind of forearm strength issues would be just as appropriate for this. The way in which it works is if I put my finger over on the white dot, which is a rest, the cursor doesn't move at all. It's actually over notes at the moment, but it doesn't move. And in order to make it move, I need to move my finger into the grey ring. And wherever I position my finger, that's the direction in which the cursor will move. So let's say, for example, we want to go into the bottom right hand corner here, then all we must do is that's the 5 o'clock position, and the cursor will move in that direction. And I can change direction on the fly, and it will just move in whichever direction I happen to be pointing in at that particular instant. When I get to where I want to be, take my finger off, or alternatively return it to the central dot. And so you can see that only about 20 millimeters of movement is required in order to get full control of that cursor. And the grey ring and also the buttons are completely touch sensitive, so zero pressure required, which is perfect for people with muscular dystrophy because they don't have the ability to be able to push. Once I get over the app in question, then I can left click and go in, and right click and do all the things I need to do, double click and drag lock. Also another potential way in which people use this product is if they're unable to open up their hands, they sometimes use a knuckle to move the cursor around in the grey ring. Now, if they do that, there's a high probability that they will lean across either the red or the yellow buttons and activate them by mistake. So on this particular unit, switch adapted as usual, but rather like the Slimline, if you plug in a switch into either of these, then it will kill its respective switch paddle for as long as it's plugged in. It will come back to life again when you unplug. Also at the back there, you've got a speed setting, same as usual, and you can also orientate the product and all the things that you can do on all of our other pointing devices. So for anybody with a forearm strength issue, the Orbitrack is always well worth knowing about. Okay, and then lastly, let's have a look at a product by the name of Trackit. Now, it comes in this clear acrylic stand, but for the purposes of demonstration, it'd be better if I remove it from there. So let's position it there. And in this particular case, I'm going to use it with just one switch. So if I go ahead and plug it in, it's really intended for people who can only use switches but want full control of the cursor. Since I've got it set to a single button, single switch mode at the moment, it's going to auto scan. And you can categorize it as being in two parts. First of all, you've got a sort of a clock face arrangement of LEDs here, which dictates the direction of the cursor. And then you've also got a straight line of LEDs there, which are associated with the buttons. So let's begin by moving the cursor around. Let's say the cursor's there at the moment. Let's say I want to move it downwards. What I will need to do is wait until the LED that LED is lit. It's just gone past it actually, so we're going to have to wait a moment. And when it gets there, press, and that stops the scan. And then I can move in that direction all I want to do. I can release and press again, that's fine. But if I release for a dwell period, which you can set, then it will begin scanning all over again. So the dwell period can be set, and also the time between each successive step can be set, so you can set it up according to your particular requirements. Now let's try putting the cursor over an app, and then we can take a look at how the switches work. So I'm going to go up to the camera. Now I'm going to have to wait for it to scan around to so I can go a little bit to the left. Now I'm over the app. What I need to do is click on it to launch it. So let's wait for the scanning to get to here, which is left click. Press to stop the scanning, and then again to actually do that particular function, and I'm into the app. You can, if you wish, set it to a two switch mode, in which case you can step scan using one switch and select with the other. So again, another very useful product to know about for more specialised needs. But the key message here throughout all of these videos is that the entire Pretorian range of products works absolutely seamlessly with iOS 13. As the months develop between now and the launch of iOS 13, no doubt we'll put some more videos online, but we wanted you to see this very early in the development life cycle, so that you can begin to formulate your own ideas on what you're going to need. So we hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.